And we are live. Hey guys, this is Brad and Kyla with Dallas Geek. How y'all doing today? Oh man, I am glad we actually did not have any problems today so far. So let's go.
Don't you jinx it.
Let's go ahead and hope that we have a nice, flawless, technically flawless stream today and have a little fun.
You are teasing Chance, my friend.
I am, but you know what? I'm feeling good, so let's see what happens. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us this wonderful Monday afternoon. For those of you who have not seen us before, we are Dallas Geek. We're here to be able to introduce you to all the nerdy things that you need to know, and hopefully provide a little bit of fun in the meantime. So today, if you have not already, please, over on Facebook, don't forget to like our video, follow us over there, and on YouTube, like the video, and subscribe down here. Yeah, there should be a little button on the screen right about here. Yeah. But in the meantime, we figured we'd come on and have a little bit more fun with recommendations for things to help get you through your boredom of being stuck at home. Hey, we have Cody over on Facebook. How you doing, Cody? So, stuck at home recommendations. Today we decided to get a little bit closer to home for us and actually give YouTube recommendations, because crazy thought, if we are a YouTube show, we should probably talk about the other creators in our digital space. So,
of course,
you know, could be fun. But let's go ahead and start. Kyla, you gave your top three, I gave my top three, and just for kicks, I went ahead and tossed in an extra bonus at the end. So we'll see how that goes. But Kyla, who is your number one YouTube channel to watch?
So my number one YouTube channel, it's probably gonna have to be Bon Appetit.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube channel that's tied to the Bon Appetit Magazine. If you don't know what that is, they come out once a month with different issues and whatnot, with like seasonal recipes and everything. They have like healthy ones, they have the not so healthy ones, but overall they're really good. But the channel itself also comes out with a video once a day, Monday through Friday. They have different series. There's one where one of the pastry chefs there, she recreates like famous candy. There's one with my favorite, Brad Leone, who does It's a Lie, which is like fermentation and like diving into how things are grown and whatnot to get like a better appreciation of what you're eating. But if you like to cook, that would definitely be the channel for you, because they do complete walkthroughs of their recipes.
Okay, so out of sheer curiosity, aren't they the ones that try to do the overly complicated gourmet versions of like really cheap candies and stuff?
Yes.
Like, weren't they the ones that tried to do the gourmet Twinkie?
Yes. And like she slaved over that thing. She's also since done gourmet Kit Kats, gourmet.
Wasn't there Skittles?
Sour Patch Kids, gourmet Skittles, gourmet. What did she do recently? Gourmet. I think she's done Twix bars. And they did an April Fool's episode where like everyone kind of like swapped what their normal series is. And so they did gourmet Andes Mints recently for the April Fool's episode, but it actually was like legitimately practiced. Like, we want to actually make Andes Mints. It's just not the normal person who does it. So
that is funny. Wow. Now I will say that I'm always up for a good cooking show, especially if you are getting just some incredibly overly indulgent, overly complicated, really simple things that are just so ridiculous to even attempt. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of the Great British Baking Show. Because thank you, Netflix, for continuing to post seasons of that, which is just, oh, good on you. But like getting to see them take some fairly simple things, simple dishes, and try to make them just super overly complicated because they can is amazing. So this, whenever it does pop up, I actually do like checking it out.
Right? Like, so she also did like a gourmet like Ben and Jerry's. I was like, oh, that has like a really good like homemade like ice cream based recipe in it, and I can do my own super crazy like Ben and Jerry's flavors and stuff I want to. So
nice.
I appreciate it because I have made a few things from watching their videos, not just consuming.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that is half the point of why they make them, to try to help you figure it out too. At least
Half?
supposedly.
Maybe like a 10% portion of why I consume their videos, besides just like wanting to drool over fancy food that I don't have ingredients to make, so.
It's fair. Well, then, my number one, honestly, since the very beginning, is Philip DeFranco.
Philly D.
I've literally been watching him since the black and white douchebag Philly D days.
Exactly. I was about to say.
back when he had the backwards ball cap, the sunglasses, and the one pierced ear. Like I've been watching him since then. I've loved his stuff since then, and as he's evolved into what he does now, which is a legitimate online news show.
Yes.
I love his stuff. I think he personally is just a fantastic personality to watch, and
He is.
I mean, we don't really get political on this show, but I personally appreciate the fact that he tries to keep his stuff as unbiased as possible, so you're not left just with yet another option of, well, this is the set of opinions that I normally like anyway, so why not add another set to it? He keeps it interesting, and also throws in a lot of other stories that you probably didn't hear about, because he wants you to be able to have that balance. But I mean, even his newsworthy shows, like his podcast channel that he does, A Convo With, is just so much fun, honestly. Like he personally is just, he's ridiculous and absurd and just asinine, but in the best possible way.
Yes. It's a guy that I like watching his wife's like cooking vlogs.
No.
Can we see what I consume on YouTube?
Honestly, no. Lindsay is amazing, and I think I actually love when he has her come on to his stuff and see the two of them go back and forth. In fact, one of my favorite podcasts he's done, back before A Convo With was A Convo With as like a proper channel, but back when he was still kind of testing on his personal channel, was the one that he did with his wife, Lindsay, because just their back and forth and how she absolutely does not take anything from him, and just every opportunity that she can to just verbally smack him down, she takes it, and it's amazing.
She can match his banter like without skipping a beat, and it's fantastic to listen to.
Well, I mean, it's so, because she does so much other stuff now that's not on YouTube as much as she used to, it's really easy to forget that she was old school YouTube too. Like, she's been around the platform just as long as he has, and she's done a whole lot of other things aside from just what you've seen when he's involved, and so there's a whole lot more of her personality there that just gets to come to the forefront when they get together. But yeah, no, she's great. But
I like her a lot. She's fun. If I had thought about the old douchebag Philly D, I would have grabbed my baseball cap for you and been wearing it in honor of him.
Yeah. And then of course seeing him look back, like some of his retrospective videos, where he'll go back and watch some of his older videos just to be able to cringe at his stuff. I think my favorite reactions from him were actually his reacting not even to his show, but to the super cringeworthiness of the HBO digital miniseries that he did. That was oh dang it! It was him and a bunch of other YouTubers.
Oh crap! I don't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about, but to the Googles.
That is exactly what I'm looking for, and it is what was it? I will look it up. In the meantime, Hooking Up. There it is. Hooking Up. It was dumb. It was so dumb, but honestly, it was absolutely what YouTube was back in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
We couldn't have gotten like Chocolate Rain or Shoes if we had to walk before we could run. Come on, YouTube.
Yeah. And we have a few. We got a few recommendations over in our Facebook comments over here. We got Timothy Turner Parrish. Hey, how you doing, Timothy? We got Cinema Sins, Cinemassacre, a favorite of Mike's actually.
Yes.
Good Bad Flicks, Decker Shadow, and Channel Awesome. Then of course Cody's going in with Slash and Cast and Dead Meat, as well as Found Flicks. So yeah.
Is it bad that like the YouTube channel recommendations also like completely match personalities?
It works.
Those who recommend them.
It works actually. But yeah. So what is your number 2, Kyla?
So my number 2, it's another cooking one, but there's a little bit of a twist to it. It's the YouTube channel Binging with Babish.
Yes.
It follows this guy. He got his start by recreating meals that were found in like TV shows and movies and things like that. And so like the first episode I'd ever saw was where he recreated like 3 of the burgers from Bob's Burgers, and he like plays the clip. Was okay, here's what we know about it. Here's what I'm gonna do, and like makes the dish.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot. And then if it's a really bad one, such as like there's like a terrible sandwich I think Homer Simpson makes. He makes it. He's like, I don't even know what to do to fix this. Like, it is that bad. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to eat this. And he actually hosted a competition. Like, if someone can make this better, please do, because I don't know what the F I'm doing. Like,
wow.
So
that's awesome. No, and actually, it's kind of appropriate that that's your follow-up after we talked about Philip DeFranco, because Binging with Babish is a continual recommendation that he makes. Because like he knows the guy, but even before he met him, he loved the show and would always come back and usually toss in his newest episodes as in his segment Today in Awesome. And yeah, no, I haven't had a chance to check out Binging with Babish as much as I wanted to, just because timing. But anytime I have, I love it. I think he's fun.
He's fun. Like, and he also does the recreations. Like, one of my favorite ones he did is that he actually made the chocolate cake from Matilda. But like, Principal Trunchbull said, she's like, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in here, and he like cuts up an onion and like collects his tears. He like pricks his finger and like gets blood. Like he also like goes like working out, collects his sweat and puts it into the cake. He's like, no one else is consuming this. He's like, I'm gonna try to bite, and then we're trashing it because that's not healthy. But he like was that dedicated to it in order to try to like recreate it.
That
But then
Oh my
he's
gosh.
done a recent spin-off with Basics with Babish, where he
Okay.
gives you like tips on like how to make basic meals from like, okay, here's a great way to make like a pork chop in 3 different ways. Here's where we're gonna make hollandaise sauce, and like if you need like an easier, harder way to do it. And then he also does Being with Babish, where since he thought he exploded too much for his taste, he's doing what he can to put back into the community. And like there's an episode where he helps out a woman with her cancer treatments, like pays for like the next like 3 or 4 cancer treatments that she has to go through, as well as like does something for her family to like be able to spend time together and stuff. So like overall just like a wholesome gentleman, and he makes me happy.
Nice.
So that's why I have to recommend him.
Very nice. Yeah, always good to be able to see the creators that we enjoy watching actually be able to do more than just make content for themselves, but also give back to the community. That's just kind of nice.
Yes.
So
That's great. It's fantastic.
yeah.
What's your so what is your number 2?
My number 2 is the Game Theorist. So anybody that's been around for a while on YouTube has almost definitely come across one of their videos. The main guy on there is Matt Pat and his show Game Theory. He does have another channel called Movie Theory, where he'll go in and do theories about different movies, but Game Theory specifically is just amazing, where he'll go in and he'll take some of the most random theories about games and game characters and put them through their paces about, you know, how realistic is this theory, you know, let's actually try to prove it with math, and like one of the classics that he did was trying to prove how fast Sonic the Hedgehog really was. Another one was proving that Mario was actually a sociopath.
Yeah, he is.
And that Princess Peach was psychotic, and like just kept on going more and more and more into all this stuff, and spent a long time now with the horror genre with Five Nights at Freddy's, and so many Five Nights at Freddy's, and then what was it? That really popular one that was up for a while, something Inc. Like Ink something.
Something what?
About the
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yes, that's the one. I mean, that just he's done some amazing stuff there.
Well, it has to be your favorite episode by him, though. Because I have 2 that tie.
Oh, that's a hard one, honestly. Give me a second. Which are your 2?
So my 2 is the one where he dives into the theory that Rosalina isn't actually the daughter of Mario and Peach, but the daughter of Luigi and Peach.
Yes.
And like brought in genetics with it.
Yes.
Fantastic like mini-series he did. And then my other favorite one is
Sorry about that.
I don't necessarily agree with the sentiment that Link is dead in Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
But it's a really good one. But he dives into like how Terminator represents the 5 stages of grief, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's not wrong there though.
Yeah.
So those would be like my 2 favorite episodes by him.
Oof. He's done so many. I actually had to just look it up real fast. I'd have to say my favorite. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's so
Anyway, I put you on the
it's
spot,
so
I'm
hard
sorry.
to pick from his, but I mean, probably would have to go with one of the Legend of Zelda ones. Honestly, I think that so many of that was just so well done.
Yes.
Maybe it would have to be the one where he actually tried to prove which version of Link was the most powerful. Like which one was the hero out of all of them. Like that was
Yes.
That was a pretty good one. Although,
Yes, it was.
honestly, on top of on top of Game Theory, there is one other show on the channel that's been around for a while called The Science, with its host Austin, and
Yep.
I love him. Like, I love him. Just his whole intro of, "Hey, it's me, Austin," and just like starts the most ADD riddled rant backed with full scientific theory about whatever topic he's choosing to rant on today is amazing. Like, he's gone in and actually calculated the math to prove what was it? Tracer's powers and how tough she actually is as a character, or trying to go in and prove how much force does Link's hook shot actually produce, and could he survive using it. Like, I can get behind that. I love it.
With my science background, I can get behind that.
I love it. So yeah, no, I gotta say, the Game Theorist is great. I mean, their rotating cast of different shows that they've had on there in the past have been amazing, but in general, as a channel, it's amazing, and I love it, and I cannot say enough good things about them.
I'm with you on that one. Matt Pat's a bro.
Yeah. Plus the fact that in the YouTube space, he has done more for all the other creators on YouTube than I think almost any other individual outside of YouTube corporate is just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you got to respect a guy like that. So.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
So, who is your number 3?
So no, my number 3, speaking of theories, Super Carlin Brothers, if you enjoy theories but want more, like, I don't want to say more nerdy, but still super nerdy theories, they dive into, they've done a lot of Disney stuff, they've done Pixar stuff, 'cause they kind of separated a little bit. They've done Star Wars, they've done Marvel, they've done, like, just anything they can get their hands on. They've done Harry Potter, so many episodes on Harry Potter that they just dive into. I showed Mike a video yesterday because he hasn't really seen them before. Literally a year ago, April 16th, 2019, they made a video theorizing what Star Wars Episode 9 would be about, and they got every single detail correct. Just based off the trailer that had dropped that day.
Wow. Okay.
They do a lot, they do their research, they dive into a lot of things, they connect things whenever they can. Sometimes it seems a little far-fetched, but they're usually not that far off.
Sure.
But they also guess the entirety of Frozen 2, like a good 80% of it. So if you like theories, diving into it is more of just like seeing how things connect, as well as like background research and also like legitimate like lore research. Super Carlin Brothers, that's gonna be your channel.
I gotta say, I respect that. It is impressive when you have somebody that's able to examine enough of just a trailer or a few trailers and be able to read between the lines enough to know where a story's going, either because of their grasp of storytelling, not necessarily stereotypes, but just storytelling mechanics or
tropes.
Whatever. Yeah, tropes. There we go. Like, I gotta respect that, honestly. That's impressive.
They're really good, and like they've done deep dives into Harry Potter research. Like whenever Fantastic Beasts 2 was about to come out, they were diving into the woman turning into a snake. And they're like, oh, okay, let's look in like Harry Potter lore, and like, oh, it's a curse that's passed down from like mother to daughter and everything like that. And they realized like it was Nagini, like the one that Voldemort uses, and like put that together before the second movie came out. And so like I appreciate their dedication to it, as well as like being respectful of, I guess, how they explained it to where it's not like, you're dumb if you believe this. Like, hey, that's just a theory we've been putting together, that we've done research on, and what are your thoughts on it? So
Sure.
Plus, they're fun. You start off every video with "Hey brother," like, come on now.
Nice. Very, very nice.
So.
Okay. So then.
What would be your?
Oh, no, I was gonna say my number 3 is actually not quite theory based, but definitely great for information. Obviously, with the Star Wars love here, and on your side, yeah, it is only appropriate that I got to throw out Star Wars Explained. They are a fantastic channel. Honestly, I love all the stuff that they do, but more importantly, because former canon, now legends, and had so much material in it, and new canon has so much stuff coming out on all different forms of media that it can be really hard to keep up with what's going on. Even for somebody like me that thrives on keeping up with all of that, it can still be really difficult to just know what the newest stories are if I didn't have time to read them all, or be able to remember every little detail at all times. Star Wars Explained provides a strong point of reference for all of it.
Yes.
And they really do go in and give not only bite-sized pieces of information that you need to know about certain characters or plot lines or whatever, but they'll also go in and do like full reviews or recaps of movies or episodes. Like right now they've been doing their own little recap and reviews of the each of the Clone Wars episodes that have been coming out, which has been really solid. And by the way, I've just finished the newest season / end of series this morning, and oh my gosh,
I need it. This one I haven't started yet, and Mike flipped his lid at me yesterday over that. I was like, I'm sorry, I've watched a million other things.
Series or the season?
Like the series.
Okay.
I know, I can feel it already.
Okay.
He flipped. He was like, Kyla, it's so good. So.
All right. Well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's fantastic. And what's even better is because they are so deep into the Star Wars community, they've actually had the opportunity to interview several pretty prominent members of the actors that have been involved with the shows and the movies. They've interviewed a few of the authors. They've really gotten deep into the inner workings of modern Star Wars, and it's awesome. Honestly, I love it, and I go to them any chance I get. So
gotta appreciate a channel that keeps you coming back, as well as full details like that too.
Yeah.
So might be good for those who are baby little Star Wars fans. Got into it because Baby Yoda sort of thing. Here, let's introduce you to everything else and get you sucked into the fandom.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, right now their channel has 2,076 videos on it. So if you have not seen anything of theirs yet, you have plenty of material to keep you going. So
I'm taking a hard guess. Each one of those videos is 20 to 40 minutes long too. Right?
Actually, no. They have some that are 3 to 5 minutes. Others that are 10 to 15, and then for ones like one that just came out 9 hours ago, which I really need to check out after we're done with this, is the 2020 complete Star Wars canon timeline update.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that is 51 minutes 42 seconds. Yeah, and I can definitely understand why it would be that long. But no, ever since new canon.
Doing while he's cooking dinner.
Oh yeah, ever since new canon came out, they've been doing a yearly canon update where they'll do monthly updates for here are the new stories that came out this month, and here are the ones to look out for next month. but every year they'll go in and like do a full recap of, okay, this is what canon is now. Here's all the plot lines that have been going on. Here's how they all connect, and go. And it really does help clear some things up, especially because Disney and Lucasfilm have been trying to intentionally, not intentionally, keep some of the specifics of exactly how that timeline is definitively set a bit hazy now. Like they'll go out and say, okay, here's the kind of timeline, but they don't really give as hard lines as you would hope, when they'll say, well, it's this range, and then this happened during this range, and you know, here's start and end dates, but exactly what happened when during that time is up in the air, and you can kind of put that together yourself, because they're trying not to fall into the same problem that old canon did, where with every new book that came out, once the new Jedi Order series came out, every new book had the full written timeline in the front several pages, just one after another, with all the books, the comics, the short stories, everything showing you where it fell on the timeline. So they're trying not to let that be as hard of a line that they're setting yet, but it's good that guys like this are able to help clarify things for everybody else.
I got you. I follow.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Easy to consume and hard to leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But with that, the final bonus to toss in beyond just our top threes, one that I couldn't help but add, because the more you and I kind of talked about it earlier, I had to. Which, by the way, did you have a chance to go check him out or not?
Not yet. I may have started to slave away to Tom Nook afterwards. Fair. Because, you know, there are bells to collect, and I need a 5-star island ASAP, so...
Fair.
I have a villager I had to move in, I need to get fauna on my island, like, I'm a slave to Animal Crossing, and it's not even funny anymore.
Oh, real fast before we jump into our bonus, Cody does bring up, yes, you do have two other Star Wars channels, Star Wars Theory and Stupendous Wave, that do some fantastic Star Wars pieces too. And in fact, Star Wars Theory, the guy that's responsible for that channel actually did a very short fan film for Darth Vader a year ago, and it is fantastic quality, and actually is trying to put together the funding to do another part to it. I say trying to put it together because the first part, it was only, what was it, I think like 7-ish minutes or something like that, but it cost him, I think he said all in all production was like either a quarter or $500,000 Canadian. And it had to be self-funded because Lucasfilms and Papa Disney don't want you personally profiting off of their IP. So in order to be able to do a second part, he has to take a little bit more time to just work on building up his reserves for that as well. So I get it, I respect it, but it was solid, honestly.
Please excuse me while I go puke real quick at the thought of spending that much money on something that lasts for 7 minutes and I cannot profit off of.
Sure, sure. But to be fair, it did make #1 trending on YouTube when it debuted. Just saying.
Fair. Which in turn could bring you like revenue to your channel and like get more people.
Exactly.
Fair, but still like. Yeah. I'm a broke teacher in Oklahoma. Like.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I have to say so our final edition, the bonus is Patrick H. Willems. So if you want theory, like proper cinema theory and analysis from somebody who is the definition of a movie nerd. Patrick H. Willems.
You mean y'all are?
Oh no! This guy beats anything that we have to say. Like he comes at it with a proper cinematic analysis when he does his reviews and video essays, where he'll actually go in and he'll pick apart a movie by the story or the cinematic craftsmanship of it, or whatever it is that he's decided to talk about for this thing, and he will dive deep, but he does it in a way that is so manically comedic that it's amazing. Like, his running gag that he does for a lot of his reviews and analyses is he will break into his parents' house up in northern New York, like upstate New York, and he'll break into their house at middle of the night, make them join him in their kitchen with a bottle of Jameson or some or whatever his drink preference of the day is, but mostly Jameson, and he will just start downing Jameson while he manically discusses the cinematic merit of the Fast and the Furious, or Paddington the Bear, and why Paddington the Bear is actually a genius film, and more specifically why Paddington 2 is one of the best movies ever made. It's, like I said...
See, that sounds like a Saturday night for me and my dad, so like...
I mean, like I said, it's ridiculous and amazing, and this guy, like, if you have, like, a hardcore movie nerd friend who has ever gone off on a rant, like, deep diving so much into a movie that, by all rights, is a ridiculous piece of cinema history, but they clearly love it to death, and they have their reasons and facts to back them up. This guy, this guy is like their spirit animal, and it's amazing. It is very hard to describe Patrick H. Willems if you've never seen his videos, but you have to. And if you really want to have some fun with him, that is beyond what you would ever expect. Where is it? One of his most well-known videos isn't even one of his video essays. One of his most well-known videos that he has ever done... Oh. Sorry about that. I forgot to mute my tablet.
Shame.
I know. But no, one of the most well-known things he's ever done outside of his video essays was 5 years ago. It's got 3.5 million views currently, and it is What If Wes Anderson Directed X-Men.
X-Men?
X-Men. And it is a short 4.5 minute short film of X-Men in the style of Wes Anderson.
So you're telling me we wouldn't have gotten Deadpool with his mouth tongue closed?
You would have gotten a very, very different everything. I'm not a Wes Anderson fan, and even I love this. Like, it's just so ridiculous. But, I mean, it's genuinely spot on for the cinematic style, both in the cinematography and the acting and writing style of it, and it's just as brightly colored and cheesy as anything Wes Anderson usually does, while still having those kind of character nuances that he always throws into his movies, but coming from Cyclops and Jean and Wolverine and Professor X, and it is one of the most unique things I've ever seen.
I got you. Also, Mike, I make you look pretty, honey.
Oh, Oh.
Sorry, he commented.
Oh.
I had to retaliate.
Wow. My buddy. For shame. And then one of my personal favorites, though, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about him, one of my personal favorite videos he's done was a video that he did in collaboration with, what was it? I believe it was the channel Just Right,
Okay.
where he went in and tried to show how the Matrix sequels could have been saved in the editing room without rewriting the stories. Like, his whole deal was he did not want to go in and try to make fan fiction. He wanted to say, take the existing stories, how could they have been re-edited to have made the stories make more sense while still maintaining the philosophical basis that the stories used in their creation. And the only leeway he gave himself for rewrites was if he had to go back and reshoot maybe a couple of scenes just to help make things make a little bit more sense for framing or character introductions. That was it.
Okay.
But beyond that, everything else, take exactly what was already there and just re-edit it to try to make more sense. And
as opposed to like the piece together, like I swear I had ADHD watching Matrix 2 and 3 watching.
And what helped it was he didn't just say, okay, it was the Matrix 2 and 3, it was the 2 Matrix sequels plus the Animatrix and the video game. Because the cutscenes for the video game were used as story filler to fill in gaps between the movies. So he gave all 4 of those things as points of reference for him to be able to use, and between all of that, were they salvageable? And what he came back with was, yeah, I mean, were they still going to be ridiculous and maybe a little bit over the top, where certain members of the general audience were still gonna not quite connect? Yes, that was a given, but could they have been better than they were? Absolutely. And it was fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll have to check that one out then.
But yeah, like I said, I have to, I go back and check his stuff out as often as I can, because even if I'm rewatching it, it's just so fascinating seeing him dive deep into all of his, the way that he breaks out everything for his analyses.
Okay.
And here we go, just to make sure I got the featured collaboration correct. He collaborated with... Oh, come on. Okay, well, Just Right, yes.
Okay.
The channel Just Right. Also another fun channel, but not one to be featured on this video. So, I mean, I'm subscribed to him because I love the way that he breaks down script writing. But different video, different topic. So, with that, we are now at the 46-minute, 33-second mark. So we've definitely gone over a bit, but hey, it's worth it. So,
oh well.
Any parting words, Kyla?
Just make sure, like, did you set out chalky milk and the chicken nuggies for Baby Yoda last night for May the 4th?
Oh, of course I did. What are you talking about?
Okay, just
in our household,
want to make sure.
Absolutely, that's gonna be a thing.
I want to make sure you're practicing like proper practices and everything. Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, just had to make sure.
I'm raising my son right. He's gonna understand.
Obviously, with a name like Luke.
He's gonna understand how to celebrate the May the 4th correctly.
Good.
That's how this works. But yeah, with that, guys, thank you so much for checking out our video today. If you've actually stuck it out this long, seriously, thank you. We appreciate every single one of you. Of course, like we said at the beginning of the video, if this is the first time you've watched us, please do not forget to like our video on Facebook and YouTube, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and subscribe over on YouTube. And with that, guys, have a wonderful Monday, and until next time, this is Brad and Kyla with Dallas Geek saying, see ya.